Yeah, we will train just after the press conference the first time, so players had off yesterday. We hope that Evann Guessand returns to the squad for Sunday. So, but of course he has to do both training sessions. But it looks good. Sousa is a bit more questionable, so could last until Arsenal. But yeah, all others seem to be fine.
I saw the French squad announcement recently. Both Nketiah and Nketiah are included. A big question. First of all, how pleased are you for those players? And how much credit this football club deserves for the progress, the development, how you guys, everyone in the club helped them to reach this opportunity?
Yes, so I think I'm very pleased and to be honest, delighted for Maxence and JP, because I think we will have, I don't know exactly, but we expect around 10 players going to the World Cup, where a few, let's say, I think Chris Richards, Daichi Kamada, Ismail Assar, Jeff Lerma, Danny Munoz, I think also Jeremy Pino. They were always involved in the country's squad. And for Maxence, he had his debut in March, and JP was not included in March, so due to his injury. So I think it's massive for both of them, and I'm really delighted because they worked so hard. And when I talked to Maxence 2 years ago when we wanted to sign him from Wolfsburg, we talked about this also because that's his big dream, playing for France, and now he could fulfill it there, because at the end he deserves all the credit because he worked so hard. He's playing so consistently on a very high level. I think he already, I don't know exactly, but he has played more than 50 games already this season. And the same for JP. So just since I arrived, and it's now a little bit more than 2 years, he's, I think so, also among the top 5 scorers of the Premier League in this period. So it just shows how consistently he is scoring goals. And this is when you call up a striker, you want that he scores goals. And so yeah, both deserve it, and really delighted.
Couple of questions about Brentford. Their manager Keith Andrews is a candidate for the Manager of the Season award. First season for him managing the Premier League, especially after Thomas Frank, a club legend, there left. How impressed have you been with Keith's work this season?
I'm very impressed. Yeah. Doing so well. I think the style, they kept their style. Yeah, of course they also they sold Mbeumo and Wissa in summer. On the other side, they had some good signings, and they just followed their pathway. They started, I think, many years ago. It's maybe the most important part of Brentford's success is that they are very consistently in the pathway, in the way they are signing players, in the way they are signing their managers, and consistency is very important for this. So he's doing an amazing job.
You mentioned consistency with the recruitment. Igor Thiago, the striker, is a candidate for the Player of the Year award as well. How impressed have you been with him? Maybe even surprised?
They signed him already a year ago, and then he ruptured his ACL, I think, in pre-season, because he already scored more than 30 goals in Belgium because we talked about him as well. So I know him, and then it took him 1 year, and it's now 22 goals or something like this. Just to score more than 20 goals in the Premier League is you have to do a fantastic job, playing a great season, and he's always a threat. Good in the air, good runs, great finish, good feeling in the box, and also, of course, a great penalty taker. So he deserves huge credit as well. We're like all the Brentford players, the whole organization, and of course Keith Andrews. They are still competing for European places, and that's why they deserve all the credit.
And from your perspective, you got two London derbies, one away, one home. And then you got this big final in Leipzig and the Conference League final. How do you find the schedule and try to keep the rhythm of the games? And rotations of lineups in the squad?
Yes, I thought about it. So first, we had a lot of traveling, and it's good to play both games in London now. But I don't talk about the amount of games anymore and rotating. So players are fit, yeah. And if somebody doesn't feel ready for a final in 10 days, it's look for another job. Yeah, so now it's the most important part of the season. Very exciting. Everybody is fresh. So, and that's why we want rotate massively. We're always every single game we are looking. We never want to risk an injury. That's why we are. I think that's why we could survive this Premier League season. To be honest, with 60 games played, really we could reduce the amounts of especially muscle injuries to a minimum. A few knee, ankle, shoulder, concussion injuries you can't avoid when you play so many games, but where we could get more and more influences, muscle injuries, and this we could really reduce. And now the players are fit, and of course we want now Evann Guessand getting a few minutes to be a good option at Leipzig, but we won't rotate massively.